Ladies, lend an ear to me, ladies. Listen here to me, better complexions in just 2 weeks. Palmolive brings you proof that speaks.
Here's all you do. Wash your face with Palmolive soap 3 times a day. Then each time take 1 minute more to massage Palmolive's remarkable beautifying lather into your skin. Then rinse. That's all. 36 leading doctors prove 2 out of 3 women get better complexions with this new method in just 14 days. Get Palmolive because
there may be new beauty for you as soon as you do.
So start today the Palmolive way.
Use tooth powder every day, brush your teeth the Colgate way.
Yes, sir, when you hear that jingle, you know the makers of Colgate Tooth Powder present Al Jolson, his guest Robert Benchley, and Carol Bruce, Park Yukakis, and Ray Block and his orchestra. And here's Al.
You'll hear me calling you 'neath your window some sweet day. You'll hear me calling you, then you'll know I'm home to stay. When I hear your cheery answer, it will make my dreams come true. Because I know that you means I love you. I love the girl I left behind me. I know she waits for my return. Soon in her arms you're gonna find me. Oh, how I'll hold her. I wrote and told her. You hear me calling you 'neath your window some sweet day. You hear me calling you, then you'll know I'm home to stay. When I hear your cheery answer, it will make my dreams come true. Because I know that you means I love you. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Oh, you're swell tonight. Well, sir, I certainly had a tough time getting here tonight. Right here, this broadcast. I didn't think I'd be here. You know, Fred, I put my car away, and honestly, in New York, you cannot get a taxi cab for love nor money. It certainly took the gas rationing board to put the country back on its feet. Really, it did. You know something? Oh, no, it isn't that good. Well, anyway. Oh, this'll kill you. Look, I couldn't even hire a horse. There's not a horse to be had. I tried 5 butcher shops. Honestly, I did.
Well, the government ban on pleasure driving sure has affected everybody, Al.
Everybody but the Russians. They're driving towards Rostov, and believe me, it's a pleasure. And you know something, Freddie? I heard, I don't know how true it is, I hope it is true, that the snow is so deep in Russia, Hitler has to jack up his generals to shoot them. Really, I think so.
Well, I understand you put your car in storage, Al. You know, the police is certainly enforcing that new ruling.
New ruling? You said it, Fred. Get this. A cop stopped a car on 5th Avenue the other day and said to the man at the wheel, "Hey, haven't you heard about the ban on pleasure driving?" And the fellow said, "What pleasure driving? This is my mother-in-law alongside of me."
Well, say, Al, I suppose you had to fire your chauffeur.
No, I didn't fire my chauffeur. I still have my chauffeur. He's just got a little easier, that's all. You know what he does now? He carries me piggyback to the subway, puts a nickel in the slot, and then he's through for the day.
Well, I guess everybody will have to give up their car soon.
Everybody except my Uncle Gremlin Jolson. He doesn't need much gas for his car.
Doesn't the rubber shortage bother him either?
Nah. Instead of tires, my uncle uses 4 manhole covers dipped in bubble gum.
Hello, Al.
Well, Carol Bruce, shut my mouth.
Say, Al, I heard you gave your car up.
Yes, and I was glad to do it. But there's little things I miss. Now, for instance, I won't be able to go to Lake Placid for the winter sports. And you know how crazy I am about skiing, Carol.
Oh, you mean sheeing, Al.
What?
You mean sheeing.
Sheeing? I like that, too. Well, anyway, I'll never forget the first time I went skiing. I'll never forget it. As I came down the ski slide and went gliding through the air, I felt like a goose on the loose. Really, I did. Then I landed... Lady, will you cut that out, please? The second week you've done that. Then I've got to go over it again. Well, sir, I felt like a goose on the loose. Then I landed head first in a snowbank, and I felt like a drip with a pip. That's the place to land. And now Cal Bruce will sing the big song of the day, Brazil.
Brazil, the Brazil that we knew, where I wandered with you, lives in my imagination, where the songs are passionate, and a smile has flash in it, and a kiss has art in it, for you put your heart in it, and so I dream of old Brazil, where hearts were entertaining June. We stood beneath an amber moon and softly murmured someday soon. We kissed and clung together. Then tomorrow was another day. The morning found me miles away, with still a million things to say. Now, when twilight dims the sky above, recalling thrills of our love, there's one thing I'm certain of: return I will to old Brazil. Oh, Brazil. Arriba!
Thank you very much, Carol Bruce. That was lovely indeed. So, you know, folks, when your one and only love in life starts going out with somebody else, it's kind of too late to start worrying about whether or not your breath is always sweet. Now, that's something you've got to be sure about in advance. And that's why it's important to know now that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate tooth powder stops all unpleasing breath. Yes, stops it instantly. And that's a scientific fact. And it means now you can be sure of having a breath that's sweet and wholesome. Friends, it's so easy to protect yourself the Colgate tooth powder way. You simply brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate tooth powder. Feel how it bursts instantly into a lively, active, penetrating foam that swirls busily into those hard-to-get-at places, leaves your mouth feeling cool, clean, and gloriously refreshed. And at the same time, the soft, safe polishing material in Colgate tooth powder reveals all the natural, attractive brilliance of your teeth. And that's why I say, for a breath that's sweet and a smile that dazzles, get Colgate tooth powder, won't you please? It's the tooth powder that cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our guest is a man who's made laughter his business. He has done more to tickle the risibilities of a nation than any man I know. You've seen him in pictures, you've heard him on the radio, and you've read his books. Colgate is proud to present Bob Benchley. Well, Bob, now you're on your mettle. Everybody knows, everybody listening in knows that you're a humorist. Well, how about starting off with something funny? Go on, let's hear you pull a few nifties. Come on.
No, Al. With prices the way they are, you better lay your own eggs.
Monty Woolley without a beard. Well, anyway. Well, if you want to be funny, I know a joke about a chicken, but I won't pull it.
You see, that's what I mean, Al. You know, there's also a ceiling on corn.
In that case, look, I didn't mean to be funny. Let's drop the whole thing. Let's talk about your visit to New York, Bob. Tell me something, old boy. How are you enjoying it here?
Well, it's a little too cold for me, Al.
Yeah?
In fact, I woke up this morning drooling icicles.
Drooling icicles. Well, you see, you've been in California for a few years, and maybe your blood probably is a little thin.
Well, I'm glad of that. I hate fat blood.
Hate? Well, I don't mind that. But anyway, if you think it's cold, listen, you should have been here last week. It was so cold. The girls in the Star and Garter Review next door had to put on their red flannel beads. That's cold. And you know, get this, and you know that picture in my bedroom of Whistler's mother sitting in a rocker?
Yeah?
Well, last night she had her feet in a pan of hot water. Really, that's...
Well, Al, all I know is I almost froze over at the shipyards this morning.
Yeah?
I started to launch a ship, and something happened to my arm.
Well, what was it, Bob? Frostbite or something?
I don't know what it was, Al. I just couldn't get the bottle past my mouth. Boy, I wound up with a nasty headache. It's terrible.
From the champagne?
I don't know what it was, Al. I just couldn't. They ran out of champagne, so they had to launch the ship with me.
Oh, I get it. For a moment, I didn't think anybody
I
would get
didn't
it.
think anybody. That was a break, wasn't it?
Well, Bob, listen. I know you haven't been to New York for quite a while. I'd like to show you around. Tell me something. Where are you staying?
At the YWCA.
Maybe you better show me around. It might surprise you, though, Bob, to know this. I'm an air warden at the Martha Washington Hotel.
Really?
Yeah, and every day I go down and see my sirens.
Well, I've been seeing a little bit of New York myself.
Yeah?
I went to a little nightclub last night, and they had a balloon dancer there.
A balloon dancer? Did you have a good time?
Oh, swell. Till the manager took away my bean shooter.
Oh, I'm surprised at you, Bob, pulling a bean shooter on a balloon dancer. What would Miss Tuttle Snapper, your old school teacher, say?
Well, she was a balloon dancer.
Well, Bob, I couldn't take you to places like that. My uncle would object. You see, he's a member of the Uplift Society.
Uplift Society?
Yeah, he goes around tilting pinball machines. Now there's a subject. It might sound like I'm kidding, but there's a subject you could really do a short on. How to be a successful pinball tilter, or when the lights go on again all over the machine. You know that new thing. You know, Bob, I've seen every one of your shorts. I wouldn't miss them. How to sleep, how to dress, how to eat. What's the next one about?
How to get a pound of coffee.
Now you're talking, brother. How do you get a pound of coffee?
Well, I'm sorry, Al. I can't tell you. That's a civilian secret.
Well, when it comes to getting coffee, I work as hard as LaGuardia does.
What do you mean, Al?
Every day it's the same old grind.
Oh, well.
That's using the old bean, yeah, that's using...
Another one like that, and Sanborn will be chasing you.
What was that? Wait a minute.
That was another one like that, and Sanborn will be chasing you.
Chasing
See?
Sanborn.
Like Sanborn, chasing.
Oh, yeah.
Gee.
Okay, all right.
What do I have to do?
No, patch it in the head and well it. Okay, I'll stop. Tell me something, Bob. Are you making new shorts?
Yes, Al. We're working on one now called How to Get Rid of Crumbs After Eating Crackers in Bed.
Well, how do you get rid of them?
Oh, that's quite a problem, Al. No matter how much you brush them, you'll always find a crumb turning up in the strangest places. I don't know.
Hello, kids. Park your crackers. Parky?
Yeah.
I want you to meet a famous movie actor, a man who is known to the girls in Hollywood as a strong, silent type.
Yeah?
A sort of a Super Cooper.
Super Cooper, huh? To me, he looks more like a puny muni.
You don't understand, Parker. This is Robert Benchley.
Oh.
Humorist, author, actor, raconteur, a man about town, and a connoisseur of the arts.
Does he also do his own laundry? Say, you know, you're kept pretty busy, ain't you, Mr. Punchy? You know...
Correction, Parky. My name is Benchley, not Punchy.
I see.
It's always been Benchley. Where'd you get Punchy?
I was dropped in my head when I was a baby. That's how I happened to go into show business.
Parker, you've been on the stage all these years?
Sure.
Did you really start out as an actor?
No, as a little boy.
Well, naturally. Most of us do.
Not my little sister. You see, I began my career in a play which I wrote myself called Flotsam and Jetsam.
Flotsam and Jetsam?
Yeah.
Well, that's the stuff that lies around the beaches.
That was me for 8 years.
Parky, wait a minute. Lying around the beach is no good for you. That's how you put on all that weight.
No, it's don't be my fault when I'm fat, you know. I used to have a sickness called 60 miles from Rochester.
Just a moment. A sickness called 60 miles from Rochester?
Yeah, Syracuse veins. Yeah.
you need, Parky, is exercise.
Really?